Good morning. Well, here we are. It's been a couple of days since I made a video because a lot has been going on. First of all, we had Halloween, which was so much fun. I had a bunch of trick-or-treaters come with the cutest costumes, and I saw the cutest little princesses and the cutest little ninjas and the Fortnite characters and all that, and it was so much fun. And my daughter came over with her boyfriend, and she cooked dinner for us. I was going to, but she decided she wanted to do it. And she made a delicious chicken teriyaki with stir-fry noodles and vegetables and all this good stuff. It was delicious. I was really happy. She created a hurricane in my kitchen, and it was a hot mess in there. But you know what? The food that came out of there was delicious, and so I'm okay with having good food. As you know, I feel like if you're in your kitchen and your kitchen is super clean after you cook, then you really haven't put a lot of passion into it. Just my opinion. So in the studio, my office today, I have Miss Lucy. There she is over there. Lucy, lift your head up so people can see you. Look up here. She's like, no, I'm sleepy. And then down here, Bumster. That's my puggy Bumster right there. He can't hear me very well, so he's kind of looking around like I heard something, but I'm not sure what it is. And so he's there. He's going to take a nap too. He's been very barky these last couple of days because the weather has been cooler and he feels good. So excuse that camera movement a little bit. So I just want to tell you a little bit about what's happening. One of the reasons I didn't create a video the other day was we stayed up very late on Halloween because we were watching Ghost Adventures, and it was really fun, and we had a good time watching that. And my car has been in the shop, and if you know, in my opinion, car trouble is the worst kind of trouble that you can have. The most inconvenient trouble. It's not the worst trouble, but the most inconvenient trouble because you're stuck. Now, thankfully, we have Uber and we have friends and relatives that can help us out and all of that stuff. But, so my car's been in the shop. It needs a new clutch because I drive a standard because I like to do the shifting myself. And it needed a new clutch. And so they put the clutch in, and lo and behold, they put it all together and then they couldn't make it work. And they were like, we don't know what's going on. So they took it apart again. And there's a disc inside there that was slightly mismanufactured, and so it wouldn't seat properly, therefore it wouldn't go into gear. So they had to order a new clutch. So essentially my car has been in the shop for 5 days. Oy, oy, oy. Now, like I said, my daughter's been coming over for class, and so we've been using her car and driving around and all that. But I really just kind of want my car back so that I can just hop in it and go to Publix if I need to. And this weekend, my husband's company, because they have given the Hilton so much business, the Hilton is giving us a free 2-night weekend at one of their hotels near Disney. So we're going to go tonight. I'm going to get there somehow. I'm hoping my car's going to be done today. They said it was going to. I'm hoping it's done today. And then we're going to go to the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot Center, which is amazing, and have dinner. And then tomorrow morning, if all goes well, then we will go to Animal Kingdom and have a wonderful day. And then the next day, I'll get up and I'll get ready for church at the hotel and just go to church from there, and he'll come home. To that end, there's just been a lot going on. So I didn't make a video the other day. Sue me. Here's what I've done this morning. So this morning, I did not run because I'm having foot issues. So I'm feeling kind of sad about that. In fact, I'm feeling really sad about that. But I'm going to make it. It'll be okay. I got to wash my hair and did all that stuff. And then I decided to try something new because, I like to try things that are new and to see how they do for me. So this morning, I brewed my tea because I used to drink coffee, and I go back and forth between coffee and tea a lot. And I had to go back off coffee again because it was making my acid reflux really react. So I'm back to tea. And I thought about that old tea bag hack where you put the tea bags in your refrigerator, and then in the morning you put them on your eyes to depuff your eyes. And typically I use the Garnier Skin active, clearly brighter with this little roller ball to depuff my eyes. But I thought, you know what? I have this tea sitting here. So I made my tea, and then I put the tea bags in the refrigerator, did my shower, blew dry my hair, and all that. And then I put them on my eyes. Now, I use 2 tea bags for my tea. One is your regular old English breakfast tea bag, and the other one is an herbal tea bag that's kind of like fruity, because I like it that way. You know, I've discovered it, and I'll go back and forth and do things. And so I brewed my tea, cooled down the tea bags, and I put them on my eyes. I put the normal breakfast tea bag on this eye, and I put the herbal one on this eye. And here's what I found out. If you look at my eyes, I'm going to go like that so you can see. I think the English breakfast one did a better job of depuffing than the herbal one. And I just left them on for 5 minutes so that, you know, I mean, they say between 5 and 10 minutes. Well, honestly, I don't have 10 minutes every morning to slap these on my eyes. So I did 5 minutes, and I think the English breakfast tea, the one in the regular plain old tea bag, did better. So if I do it again, which I probably will because I know me, and it's cheap. Again, cheap. That's me. That's my middle name. I'll do this again. I might do, you know, I think the tea bag worked a little bit better even than my Garnier. So we'll see how it holds up during the day. And so that's going to be that. Now, so we're back to the old fingers versus sponge argument. And you're like, are you ever going to be done with this? And the answer is probably soon, because I'm making adjustments. So I got out of the shower and I threw on my moisturizer. I did the tea bags, and now I'm going to do my primer. And guess what, folks? I'm using my fingers because I did not like the way that the sponge put this primer on. So I'm going to put the primer on today. And I'm going to show you a hair thing today, too, a different hairstyle. So I'm going to put this primer on with my fingers. I just feel like, I don't know, I just like this way better. It works better for me. I know I'm touching my face. Yikes. Touching your face, that's not a thing. Actually, it is. So I'm going to put that primer on. And I'm just going to use a little bit. And I'm just dabbing it. Ooh, I kind of got a lot over there. Let's put some over here. And the other thing I noticed about this primer. Now remember, I like this primer because it has what? SPF 34 in it. So my skin is being protected. Yes, yes, yes. And loves, you know, the Florida sunshine just will wreak havoc on this skin underneath your eyes because of SPF. So please wear sunglasses. Don't go anywhere in Florida without sunglasses. I had to learn that, and it's a good lesson to learn. So I'm putting this primer on my nose. And I'm just smooshing it around. And, you know, I felt like with the sponge, because the sponge was wet, that for some reason this just didn't spread as well, and which makes no sense at all because it should have spread better because of the moisture, but it just didn't, and I was unhappy. So that made me unhappy. So guess what? I'm not doing it anymore. And you can see my face is getting a little flushed because I'm actually touching my face, and I'm not rubbing. I'm just gently spreading this. You know, when my mom was when I was little and I used to watch my mom put on her makeup, my mom is what I would call an aggressive makeup person. When she puts on her foundation, she uses her fingers as well, but when she puts it on, I am not joking you, she goes like this, and she like makes this face, and she just like rubs the crap out of it into her face. And I'm like, Mom, you need to be gentler with your face. She's like, well, I gotta make sure it gets in there. Okay. So now I've got my primer on, and I'm just gonna let it sit for just a minute. And so I'm gonna pause the video for just a second because I forgot to get something, so give me 1 second. Okay, so I went to the bathroom because I forgot to get something. I forgot to get my little sponge that I'm going to use next. So I just used my fingers to put on the primer, and now I'm going to put on my concealer, and then I'm going to blend it with this little damp sponge that I have. So we're using the True Match This is the Fair Light True Match by L'Oreal. And I'm going to go under my eyes with this. And I'm just going... Now, I'll tell you, folks, this primer is the bomb diggity. It just makes this this concealer go on so much better. And so, better is good. Better is better, I suppose. So I'm going to go down the bridge of my wide nose with the light. And then I'm going to use the darker color. Oh, I forgot to do the top of my lip. I always do the top of my lips with the lighter. Like so. Make me a little milk mustache. And so I'm going to use the darker one to cover up my blemishes over here. Under there. My scar over here is actually looking better, so I'm happy about that. And I'm going to go down the side of my nose with my darker color. And so I've been watching some YouTube videos. I watch makeup videos all the time because I like to learn new things. So I look all around and I find all these things. And I try to find women that are close to my age because I'm not 20, so I don't need to have 20-year-old makeup. But I will say this, some of the younger ones have new ideas and new, quote, hacks or new tips to use. So I'll look at those occasionally and I'll find something new to try. So I have my little sponge and it is damp, and so I've been like doing this business with my concealer, and I learned yesterday that you shouldn't be doing that. You should just be dabbing it like this. So I'm going to do that today, and we're going to test it out. And you just dab, 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 and they'll actually say dab, 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 which I think is kind of cute. And you can see it's like putting it in place as opposed to smearing it. Which, the less that you pull on your skin, the better you'll be. And then I got to thinking about a couple of things about how, we're all looking for instant things. We want things to be done instantly. And whether it's anti-aging creams that we want to work instantly. I mean, you think about it. You look at all the products that are advertised on TV, and they're like, instantly refines pores, instantly. And we want everything to be instant. But I have to tell you, there's very few things in life that are instant. For example, I did not get at the weight I am overnight or in a week. I did not put on, I'm not even going to tell you, let's put it this way. I weighed 105 when I got married. And now I'm 50, and I was 24. And now I'm 53, and I don't weigh 105. Well, this weight didn't come on like the week after I got married. It was a cumulative effect. So you have to think about, instant would be really nice, and about the only thing that's instant is liposuction. But it's not realistic, especially when you're coming to skincare or something like, or anti-aging. It's cumulative. So if a cream or something it doesn't seem to be working, a lot of people will just throw it away. Now, not me, because again, I'm cheap, but I realize that everything is cumulative. So you may have to have like a little pot of anti-aging cream for, 3 or 6 months. It's not instant. Nothing like that is going to be instant. It's all going to be cumulative. So just be aware of that. You can't, instant is kind of not a thing. I mean, there's instant coffee that tastes terrible. There's instant cocoa, which is subpar. And, so there's just not going to be instant skincare that's going to instantly make you look younger. Now, you can make yourself look younger with beauty, with makeup and stuff like that. But it's just not going to be, anti-aging products are not going to be instant. Weight loss is not going to be instant. All right, so I've dabbed all that in, and I'm going to come in real close so you can see. I'm going to go like that. I feel like I need to blend just a little bit more over here. So I'm going to. And I'm essentially just pushing this, I guess. And let's see, how does my nose look? Pretty good, I think. Everything looking good? Okay, good. So there we have it. We have the dampened sponge with the concealer, and you can see the concealer came off a little bit on my sponge. I don't know how, there we go. We can probably see it a little bit better over there. And so I'm going to throw this sponge away because I don't like bacteria on my face. Just saying. Now I'm going to put on my foundation, and I've changed my foundation from the Creamy Natural to the Soft Honey. I felt like the Creamy Natural was nice, but I feel like this matches me a little bit better, so I'm going to use this one instead. And this is the Soft Honey, so I'm using my kabuki brush, and I just went in there like that. And now I'm putting this powder on my face. And I like this color a little better. I think it makes me look a little bit less washed out, which as you get older, looking washed out is easy to do because your hair is getting lighter, i.e. gray, especially if you let it go gray, or you color it blonde like I do. And so you want to make sure that your skin doesn't look washed out. All right, here we go. I think that looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. So we're gonna be happy with that today. We're doing a pretty basic makeup routine today because I want to show you a different hair. This is the Kaleidoscope blush that I like. Skin blush. I think it's called Innocent Blush or something like that. It's really, no, that's the other one. This one is called, oh wow, I can't remember. Anyway, I'm just gonna put my blush on. Color on my cheeks. And you notice this time around I'm not gonna like do a whole lot of explaining because I've already done the explaining for these products in some of my other videos, and again I'm focusing on hair today. I'm using this this palette today. It's by Maybelline Expert Eyes, I think. I tend to use their products quite a bit, and today I'm going to use this color and this color only. And I'm going to do something a little different. This time, today, I'm going to use this color as the base color for my whole eye area. And then I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting on some places. So I'll show you how that's going to work. So first, I'm going to put the all over color on. And I'm doing everything in the computer today as opposed to having my mirror handy because I forgot to put it in here and I don't want to go get it again because I've already paused this video once. So I'm just going across my lid first. It's putting a little bit darker brown on my eyelid. So I'm going to come in close so you can see. And then I'm going to go all the way up to my eyebrow. Like so. And I'm just kind of blocking it on there. You know how I do. I block it on first and then we do what? We blend, of course. And I'm kind of putting a lot on today. Just for, you know, it'll be a basic look, but it'll be like you can tell that I have makeup on. Alright, so let's do the other eye. I'll go across the lid first. Why? I don't know. I just always have. So, you know, sometime or at the end of my videos, I talk about taking care of your body, your mind, and your spirit. Only I say spirit, body, and mind, or spirit, mind, and body. Whichever way you like. The spirit comes first. So I've had to take care of my spirit a little bit because one of my good friends from high school, her husband was killed in a car accident. And so my spirit has been sad for her and for her 12-year-old son. And so I've done a lot of praying in the last 24 hours for them because it's really, he was 49 years old. So that's really young. He and his best friend were killed in a car crash. And so, you know, my spirit has been sad. So I've had to take care of it by praying for them and for asking for peace and comfort. So I just wanted to throw that out there because, you know, I talk about taking care of your spirit and your mind and your body. And I really do mean it. It's not like just something that I say because, you know, whatever. So I took care of that. And then, so I'm still kind of wrestling with that a little bit. And I have had some sleepless nights just thinking about her and all that. So we do what we can. So that's one thing I can do. And the service is coming up today. So that's been on my mind. So I've done a lot of praying. And that's good for you. You should do that. And also, I've been doing some stuff with my mind because the elections are coming up, the midterm elections for your local governments and your representatives and senators. And so I did some research Now, I voted early because I wanted to. But beforehand, I got online and I got all the information about the candidates that I could find that were from reliable sources, not from Joe Schmo down the street. And I looked at their voting records based on the government. So you can go into like your local government and see how they cast their votes on everything. So you should do that just so that you can see how well they align with what your ideas are. And I am not far left and I'm not far right. I'm what we would consider really moderate. And so that's how I typically vote. But I always research first. And my daughter, we looked at all the amendments that are coming up for our state, and we went through and talked about them and talked about how they were worded and how, what it all meant. So we educated ourselves before we went to the voting poll, before we went to the polls. And then we voted. And, I've voted in every single election I could vote in since I was 18 because I consider it my civic duty and my patriotic duty. So I have always done that. I've always done the research. I've always been an educated voter. And sometimes in some of the elections, like for example, in Florida's elections, I've had to write in because I don't like either one of the candidates and they don't align with what I think is best for our country, best for our state, or best for anybody, actually. So I did not vote for them. I did not vote for the far left candidate. I did not vote for the far right candidate. And in our particular state, our governor's race is that we have one that is far left and one that is far right. And I can't agree with either one of them. So I did a write-in. And some people say, oh, well, if you write in, that's a wasted vote. Actually, it's not. Because if you don't vote for who your party puts out there, they take note of that and they go, hey, why? She's voted X ways so many times, and so what happened? And so they are taking note that, hey, you didn't put a candidate that I could vote for. So they're getting a bigger picture of how people in their party or their party affiliations feel. So it's not a wasted vote. It's not like I didn't vote for those two, but so therefore I threw away my vote. That's not what happens. So if you need to write in a candidate, write one in, but don't do something stupid and don't write in like Mickey Mouse or, Beans and Frank or, whatever. Because that's just dumb. That's not grown up. Let's be a grown up about it. So I actually put a write-in for somebody who I thought had done a good job in the past. So there's that. So go vote. All right, so I did that brown all on my eye. And now I'm going to just highlight it a little bit with this lighter color. So I'm taking my brush and I'm going in. And I'm going to highlight like right here in the middle of my eye. Supposedly this is going to make my eye pop a little bit, which I suppose it does. It just draws light to that section of my eye. So we'll do that. Excuse me for the way I hold my mouth while I'm doing things. And then I'm going to highlight just under my eyebrow right there. And I'm blocking it in first. And just putting a little bit on there like so. We'll do the other side. I like to match with my makeup. Sometimes I don't get it on evenly, but I'm okay with that. It's all good. And now we're going to take my blending brush and we're going to blend what I just put on because you have to blend your makeup, loves. I'm a big proponent of SPF, sun protection, but I'm also a big proponent of blending your makeup so that you don't look crazy. And my poor little wrinkly eyebrows, we had a rough night because I was thinking about my friend and her family and her 12-year-old son and everything. And so I didn't sleep well. So that's going to show up on your face. If you don't sleep well or get enough hours of sleep, it's going to show. And so it's showing up on my face today. That's life. You're not going to look perfect every day. So there, I've blended in. I'm getting closer so you can see that. And you can see, especially on this eye because of the lighting, that white glimmer right there is from that highlighting, so that's nice. We're just going to blend a little bit right here because it looks like it needs it. I'm going to blend right here. Alright, I think that's blended in pretty well. I can't get myself together today. I did not bring my eyebrow powder in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plan B. It just so happens that this palette has a darker color for an eyebrow. So I'm going to use it. Let's see, which one am I going to use? I think I'm going to use this color right here for an eyebrow color. And since it's pretty dark, I'm going to go sparingly with it. But I'm still doing it because I don't want to get up again and pause this video. And this is going to be a little bit darker eyebrow today. Oh well, who cares? It will all be fine. So I'm going to just put it in like that. And let's see, here's the bridge of my nose. So I need to go about right here. It's hard for me to tell in the computer, and I didn't bring my close-up mirror in. Like I said, I can't. My mind has just been all over the place the last few days. Oh well, we'll be all right. So I'm going to put this arch up in here first. That's what I like to do, is do the arch first, kind of, and the far tail. Seems like I need a little more over here. We'll see. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then I need to go right here because that's where the actual hair. So I kind of have it's kind of a weird look, I guess. But see where my 11s are in my face? That's kind of like the starting point for my eyebrow. So at least on this side maybe not so much, but it's close. So I kind of have a guide already. So yay, thank you, wrinkly eyebrow, wrinkly forehead, for giving me that guideline. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so I need a little bit more right here, it looks like. And a little bit. Now, nobody looks at your makeup this close to your face. Remember, if somebody got this close to your face, you'd be like, back it off, buddy. Sorry. And so, if it looks good from afar, from an arm distance, I think you're all right. So that's good. So we've done all that. Now I'm going to do my eyeliner, and I'm going to do it right in the computer because I want you to see how I'm doing it. And this is that Aurora, this way. Aurora. And this is the Intensely something. It's espresso color, the one that I got from my Ipsy. And I'm doing like this because it's a liquid and it needs to go down into the brush. I forgot, and I stored it like this last night. Typically I store these tip down so that the product runs down into the tip so it's ready to use. But I forgot to do that last night. Oh well. And we're just going to line my eyes right under my eyelashes. You can see I got a little bit out of the line there because I'm doing it in the computer and not in my big mirror. And I can still see mostly, so that's good. So I've done the bottom, and now I'm going to line the top from here to the color of my eye. My iris starts right there. And I'm using my chin like to rest my hand on, and my finger right here on my lip to steady the brush. And you'll notice I didn't do any eye pulling because that's going to pull the skin on your eyes, and that's not good. Let's do this other eye. So first underneath. I'm going to shake it down a little more. And I may look at this in the mirror in a minute. And so on this side, what I'm doing is I have my pinky like touching right here to steady the brush. Actually, it's like touching right there. And that's okay. And if you hold it around like that, it's really pretty. So you should do... Sorry about that. Okay. That was just the light. I thought I had gotten like off the lines here. You can see like how it looks dark there, but guess what? That's just a shadow. And now we'll do the top. Again, from the corner just to the color of my iris. Actually, this way it's going to look a little bit further because my actual iris is looking that direction. So it's going to be about right there. So maybe if I did like this. A little bit more over here, I think. I think that's okay. Again, when I get off this video, I'll go look in my big mirror and I may touch that up. It just depends on how it looks. And now I'm going to set my makeup again with my foundation powder for my, everything that I put on thus far. We'll do that real quick. So I'm going to just go a quick swipe across there. Quick swipe across there. Quick. Bada boom, bada bing. And I want to do my mascara. My Colossal Waterproof Mascara that I wear every day, even though I know you're not supposed to. But I take it off every day with my micellar water. And some days I don't even wear anything at all. Like Monday, I'm going to do another makeup-free Monday, which I'm really excited about. And I have a new mask that I'm going to try. I don't know if I'm actually going to use it. Oh, no, I have something else I'm going to show you. I forgot. So I'm not going to be doing a mask. I'm going to be doing something a little bit more fancy schmancy, I suppose. Like a little mini facial, which, that's a good thing. Get a facial. It's really not. If you can afford to, and, you can find somebody that does a facial that's good for your skin, you should at least do it once a month, or maybe once every other month, depending on how much you can afford. Or if you can't afford it at all, you can always do it at home. But I sometimes treat myself, some women treat themselves to mani-pedis. I don't do manicures because I use my hands for gardening and everything else under the sun. And my pedis are pretty much over for the summer, which is a good thing because I run and I spend money on that pedicure, and then I run and it chips off or comes off or whatever, even with the gel. So it's kind of a waste of money. But in the summertime, I do wear flip-flops out in public occasionally. I don't do it a lot because I don't like feet. I don't like my own feet. I don't like to see other people's feet. But if I do, then I want my toenails to look nice. I don't know. So I'll get like a pedicure about once a month in the summer, maybe twice a month, depending on how it looks. But now I'm wearing tennis shoes or closed-toe shoes all the time, so I don't really feel the need to do a pedicure in the sense of getting them painted. But I still take care of my feet. I still give them lots of lotion love, moisturizing, and stuff like that. Because you need to. You need to take care of your feet. You need to massage your feet. It's kind of an important thing, especially if you're a runner, because you're tearing them up. All right. I'm going to have to pause again because I forgot something else. So excuse me one more time. All right, so the reason I had to pause again for this video is I forgot my comb, and I'm doing a hair video. You kind of need to have a comb. So what I'm going to show you today is a look that I typically do on Sunday mornings for church. I call it my Sunday go to meeting hair. But I haven't shown you this style before, and it's a little different than what I typically do. Some days I'll just go out just like this with my hair blow dried, or like the other day I blew it out straight. And then I've used my InStyler. So this is, it's kind of the same curling techniques as the one where I did my InStyler. But today I'm using a curling iron that is, I think this is a 1-inch barrel. I think it is. And this is from Remington. And the thing I like about this is this has this little adjustable dial for heat. And so I have this one set on about 25 because I know if I set it any higher than that, it's going to really damage my hair. Some people might go as low as 15, but I find that 25 is just about that right sweet spot where it curls my hair and it will make a curl hold. And the reason I'm doing this today is to show you a different look, but also I'm going to the hotel later, and so I want to look a little fancy. I'm not fancy at all, people. I am not fancy, but you know, sometimes I need to, we'll be around some of my husband's coworkers, and he's the boss guy, so I have to be the boss's wife today, which I don't like because it's so unnatural for me to be like, I don't know. I'm still me, but I just want to look a little bit more polished, I suppose, as far as my hair goes. So we're going to do this today, and I'm going to do it essentially the same way. So I use my wide tooth comb and my poor little bangs. See how thin and fine they are? Oh, well, you know, aging is kind of a thing. So I'm going to gather up my bangs like this. And it's okay if I get some of my other hair in there too. And this 1-inch barrel is going to curl it significantly. So on the one hand, you know, you're going to be like, wow, that is a heck of a curl, lady. And it is. And I'm just going to hold it here for like 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was probably less than 10 seconds. And I'm going to release it like that and just kind of fix it. Now, remember the other day when I was telling you about my InStyler, how you have to let these curls cool down for them to hold. So I'm going to do the same thing there. And I'm going to go here and do this chunka-munka. And I used wide ones because I'm lazy and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time curling my hair. So I'm just combing this out. And I'll do it like this. And you'll see, if you watch my other video with the InStyler, I really am using kind of the same sections and kind of the same curling technique and all like that. And you can kind of feel here, it's like, oh, it's kind of hot. So we're just going to leave that on there for just a couple of seconds more just to make sure it gets curled. I'm going to release it and go like this. I'm just going to pull it down and go like that. And I'll do this side over here. I'm going to, excuse me, I was like, I'm going to sneeze at you. So I'm going to go over here and get this part right here. I think I'm going to get a little bit of that right there too because it looks like it needs some extra help. And I'm going to go in and curl it like this. And this 1-inch barrel is making a much tighter curl. So when I finger comb it out, you know, just to loosen it, it'll still have quite a tighter hold. And the nice thing about it is this particular, you know, this 1-inch barrel, my curls will hold all day, even in the Florida humidity. And that's a good thing. We want our curls to hold. You don't want to curl your hair and then comb it out or brush it out and then you don't have any curls anymore. So I need to back up so I can see this a little bit better. Here we go. So you see I'm using the whole entire length and maybe even a little more some of the barrel because I'm just too lazy to do it in 2 or 3 sections. You know, it is what it is. So there we are. It's feeling a little warm up here, so we're just going to leave it on for a couple more seconds. All right, so there we go. So we're going to spend a nice weekend at the hotel, and we have Disney passes, and it's right near the Disney gate. So we're going to go to the Food and Wine Festival tonight for dinner, and then tomorrow we're going to go to Animal Kingdom, which is going to be so much fun. It's one of my favorite parks because I love animals. I was a veterinary nurse, and I just have, you know, I just love them. So that's the way that is. All right, so I'm going to go in here, and we're going to go around just like I did with the InStyler. And this is extremely hot too, so you want to be careful not to touch your face. Like I've burned this part of my face before with my curling iron. It's not fun. Your ears, it's not fun to burn any of your skin, but hey, you know, just be careful. All right, so now I'm going to release it, and I'm going to come straight down so it has like, look, it looks like just like that perfect little barrel. And we're going to go on this side, and it's, like I said, it's the same curling techniques. My daughters think I look cute with this, so, you know, sometimes, you know, my daughters are what I would call brutally honest. I've taught them to be honest, and sometimes they take it to the extreme, and they're a little more honest than I want them to be. They're a little bit honestly rude. So, but, you know, they'll tell me, Mom, that looks good, or Mom, that doesn't look good. And I tend to believe them, and sometimes I go, yeah, well, that's your opinion. But they seem to like it this way when I curl it away from my face. So there we go, like that. And that's got another perfect little curl right there. I'll do this section right here the same way. It's okay if some of that other hair gets in there. It's all good. We're just going to come out like this and curl it around. And this is actually pretty fast. This doesn't take a whole lot of time. This has taken less than 5 minutes to do the curls that I've done this far. And so that's not too bad, I don't think. It takes me about 5 minutes to dry my hair. So if I were doing this like on a normal Sunday morning, which is when I would be doing it, I would get out of the shower, do my makeup, and then my hair takes me about 15 minutes to do from drying to curling. And, you know, the reason for that is I leave my hair in the towel and let it towel dry or air dry before I do anything else. All right, so we're going around like that. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 curls in or 8, excuse me, because I did this one back here, in less than 2 minutes. I don't think that's too bad. That's because I had this heating up when I was putting my makeup on, so it was definitely preheated. So, you know, a lot of people say, oh, I don't have time in the morning to do this. And I'm like, really and truly, for me to do my hair in this way and my makeup in this way, if I were just doing it straight without doing all this talking about everything under the sun and the products and whatnot, it literally takes me less than half an hour. It may take me 25 minutes to do everything from blowing my hair dry to curling it to putting my makeup on. 25 minutes. And then it takes another 2.5 to put your clothes on. So I just did straight up with that one. I missed a little section over here, so I'm going to grab that real quick. And I'm just releasing that to like a flip up, I suppose. And so it really takes me, my entire hair and makeup routine in any given morning takes about 25 minutes. So you figure in between showering, doing my hair and makeup, and putting on my clothes in the morning, it takes me about 37, 38, we'll say 40 minutes just to make it an even number. 40 minutes to get ready. And then I'm ready to get up and out the door. All right, so I've just curled all my hair. So I'm going to turn my curling iron off. See, here it is on, lights on, turn it off, it's off. And I'm going to let that cool down completely before I put it in the drawer because I don't want my other things to melt. So what I'm doing now is I can feel the heat still on my head from those curls. So I'm just going to let it completely cool down. And typically in this part of my morning routine is when I would be putting on my clothes while my hair gets cooled down, because the cooler, you know, you've put the heat on there and curled it. Now you need to let it cool down so that it will hold for the whole day, which it will, I promise. And that's a good thing. And I probably won't even use hairspray today because this is going to hold just fine, just the way it is. All right, so I talked about my spirit. I talked about my mind. Now I'm going to talk about my body. So remember how I said I was going to lose 5 pounds before November 16th? Well, it's not going well, folks. Halloween candy has been in my house, and I have just got to get rid of it. That's just all there is to it. But I had this thought this morning while I was in the shower. When my kids were little and they would go trick-or-treating, and they still talk about this because it's kind of funny, they would come home with this huge amount of candy, and I would let them eat candy for that night and for 2 days after. And then after that time, I would go through and I would pick out anything that didn't look like Halloween candy. Like if it had orange or black or bats or something on it, I wouldn't take it out. And I would leave that for them, but we would put it in little, because I'm like crazy. We put them in the little Ziploc bags, and they could have 1 Ziploc bag a day. And typically the Ziploc bag had 3 pieces of candy in it. Or they could have 3 pieces of candy a day. And I thought that was fair. And the ones that I had taken out that didn't look Halloween-y or whatever, I would put in the freezer. I would put them in a big gallon Ziploc bag, and I would put it in the freezer and freeze it. And then when Christmas came along, their stockings had Halloween candy in it, it didn't look like Halloween. They thought it was from Santa Claus. And so I would pull that out of the freezer and put it way up in the pantry, and then so it was thawed out. And then Christmas Eve, I would get that bag of candy out, and I would put that in their stockings along with whatever doodads, depending on when they were little, it was always stickers and stamps and things like that. And as they got older, it was like perfumes and Burt's Bees and things like that. But they always had this candy in there. And of course, when they got older, they realized older as in they weren't trick-or-treating anymore. And so I had to actually go buy candy to put in their stocking, because that's our family tradition, is to have some candy in there. And so they realized what had happened, and they were like, Mom, you took our Halloween candy, you froze it. And I was like, absolutely, it saved me money. Cheap. And they just thought that was so funny. And then I guess it was yesterday or the day before when my oldest was here, she said, Mom, that whole idea about, keeping the candy out and freezing it or whatever? She goes, I kind of like that idea. That idea works for me, because she goes, then you're getting, you're not eating Halloween candy for like weeks on end, and then you have Thanksgiving, and I'm like, exactly. So she goes, so I think I'm going to do that for Delano. That's our boyfriend. And just take some of that candy and put it in the freezer. And I said, well, if you want to, you can just put it in my freezer, and that way he can't get it at all, because he's a candy monster. And she's like, I'm going to totally do that. So I just thought it was funny that, it went from A to B to C, where A, I was doing it without them knowing, B, them knowing and making fun of me, and C, realizing that, oh, that wasn't such a bad idea after all. And I just thought that was funny, because that's how, my mom did sing things, and I'm like, what are you doing? And we made fun of her, and now we're like, oh, yeah, I get it. So anyway, just a little side story about Halloween candy and my lack of willpower. So I'm getting rid of I'm putting my Halloween candy way up in my cabinet, because I know I won't get it. But at Christmas time, I'll get it out and leave it out for whoever comes over for Christmas, because that's a nice thing to do. And that way I won't eat it. So I'm not doing well with that, so I'm just gonna have to do better. All right, so my curls are now completely and utterly cooled off, so I'm gonna move this over here, maybe a little like this. And again, I just use my fingers, and I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna shake right here. I'm literally putting my hands in my hair like this and just shaking it, like if you were gonna wash your hair, only maybe not quite like that. And then I'm going to go back here and do the same thing on the curls back here. I do that first. I kind of, it's just kind of fluffing it, I suppose, just to loosen them. But I'm not going to comb them, because, like with a comb, because then you're going to comb out your curls that you just put in. And now I'm just finger combing this way, and I'm finger combing this way. We're going to work a little bit over here. And so to me, this is like where you have curly hair, but it looks natural, like I haven't... like if my hair was naturally curly. Oh, if that were only true. No, it's not. So today, because I'm just doing like the whole hotel thing or whatever, I'm not gonna like fix it so much as I normally would. So it's gonna be like more naturally done. But now I don't like the way this looks over here, so I'm gonna figure out, I think I'm going to actually comb this one, because it's just too tight and it looks funny to me. So there we go. That's a little bit better. So we'll go like that. And so that's all I've done, is I've just finger combed my hair, and I'm just fluffing it in the back with my fingers. So I'm going to turn around and show you what the back looks like, so you can see. And I'm trying to get it in the thing. I've just fluffed it out, Go like that. So I'll turn back this way so that you can see all the sides. Ooh, so fancy. So here's this side, and here's this side. And that's my curled hair look that I wear on Sunday mornings. So it just looks like I spent an extra bit of time making myself look pretty. And it really didn't take that long at all. This is... for the holidays, like if I go to a holiday Christmas party, I'll use an even smaller barrel, and I'll make these curls even tighter so it looks a little bit more funky festive, I suppose. So that's my hair and makeup for today. Ta-da! There's me with my glasses, so now I can see. I'm going to keep working with this because I don't like the way that looks. But we'll fix it, or not. We'll just leave it and let it do what it's going to do. And that's the video for today. It's kind of longer because I had a lot to say today. Take care of your body, or excuse me, your spirit, your mind, and your body every single day. Be kind to people. Be kind. Be kind to people. And have a wonderful day.